and welcome back to our live stream for the Monday, July 12th from Point Roberts. My name is Bennett Blaustein. I'm in charge of Point Roberts TV. And it's been a few weeks since I did a live stream from Point Roberts. This was due to a massive increase in workload I have had to deal with. And it's only going to be getting worse for the remainder of the summer. So I want everyone to know that after 84 live streams since the start of the pandemic, I've decided to stop on number 85 today. Over the next 4 weeks, I'll be working on kids camp out here in Point Roberts, and I need to do a massive conversion of historic video from Point Roberts that will allow these videos to be preserved. So I'm going to be doing a lot of additional work that will keep me from doing the live streams. So, it's been a pleasure doing this. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But after the kids camp and these conversions, I'm also going to be taking a well-deserved break for a couple of weeks away from Point Roberts. My wife and I are going to go on a cruise and get out of here. It's other than my mom's funeral, it'll be the first time we've been off the point really, and for any length of time in 16 months. So we're going to be getting out of here for a short time. But for today, let's take a look at what's going on around the point. We'll go to our live shot from the marina, of course. And as you know, a couple weeks ago, we had a heat wave which broke records, and we were reaching up into the 90s. But we're back down into our normal weather pattern of highs in the 50s at night and in the 70s during the day. It looks like it's going to be pleasant weather for the remainder of summer. So make sure you go out and enjoy it. It's, it has been really beautiful out there. It's a good time to walk the beaches and to get out into the forest and enjoy our lovely little piece of the world that we have here. We'll go over the COVID rates. We've been dealing with it for a long time. As you can see, the case counts have really started to drop off recently. We've had let's see what we have. We've had very few. I mean, we're almost back down to where we were last July, almost a year ago. So we're back down to those rates in the county, and it's getting even better. And then the hospitalization rates have really started to drop again. You can see where our peaks were earlier in the year and then last year, and we're really starting to drop down. The good part is we've in Point Roberts we now have like a 90% vaccination rate. So they're saying that 95% of all the hospitalizations here in Whatcom County are for COVID cases from people who have not gotten vaccines. So it's really, really important that if you haven't gotten a vaccine to get it, even though we are one of the highest rates in the nation for vaccinations. The vaccines are going to continue to give them. We have Pfizer coming up this weekend. If you have not contacted the fire chief and you want to get the Pfizer vaccine, this is good for, I believe, children 12 and up. So make sure you contacted Chief Carlton. Here's his email address, with the information you need. They'll be doing Pfizer this weekend. And they don't always do it because, the Pfizer vaccine is one of those, they have to have the refrigeration for it. But they are going to be doing Pfizer shots this weekend. So please, if you have not gotten a vaccination, please get it because it's so important right now. With the variants out there, we're a lot safer because we have not had, we have such a high rate of vaccination here. If you plan on traveling across the border when it finally opens, then you may really want to get your shot now because I don't think they're going to want people to travel through Canada who have not gotten their shots. There's no new news about when the border is going to open, but it's the Canadians, they've revised their rules for Canadians traveling out of Canada, and if they've had their vaccines, they can come back in, and and they've had a COVID test, they can come back in without doing the quarantine. I don't think they're going. If they do start letting us through, I don't think they're going to let people go through who have not been vaccinated. That's my opinion there, but it's just better off to get your vaccination done. Now, we had a great 4th of July. One of the things we had a great turnout for the pancake breakfast. They had over 300 people attend. Normally, we would get between 400 and 500 but without our Canadian friends here, it was still a really good turnout to have over 300 people attend, all from the local community. And then trying to keep our traditions alive, we also had the flag raising ceremony at the community center. One of the things that's interesting, about the flag raising ceremony, we always do the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada, and the iPad that I was running the music from on O Canada, the iPad overheated and it stopped playing in the middle of O Canada. Well, we don't have a lot of Canadians down here right now. Most of us are American, but everyone in the crowd picked up and started singing O Canada. So we really have a truly dual community here with people who respect each country. So it's really a good thing for our community when we are able to maintain traditions like that. The pancake breakfast was a lot of fun. A lot of people showed up, and then the flag raising ceremony. The parade, we were able to hold the parade this year. Let's see, I know. Let's see, the day was really topped off by the 4th of July parade. And I'm going to run a short video from so you can see a little bit of it. The full parade is on YouTube right now. If you search for Point Roberts 4th of July Parade 2021, you'll find it. I'm going to just run a short clip from the 4th of July Parade. Thank you.
Hey there.
And you can see, I mean, we had our normal parade of cars and people throwing candy. We didn't have the crowds that we normally do because a lot of we don't have the number of visitors in our community that we normally would have. We're starting to get more people come across the border, but it's still very, very difficult. One of the things they did do for the 4th of July is they had a protest at the border. It was very well attended. There were a couple hundred people. It was nice to have people from both nations, both Canada and the U.S., going up there and protesting at the border. So hopefully our voices will be heard and they'll start opening up things. One of the nice things, as we're getting into summer, as I was saying, part of our traditions, it's important to try and maintain them, like the flag raising ceremony and the parade. One of the things that did happen at the beginning of July is the campground from Lighthouse Point did open up. So if anyone from the point wants to go camping here on the point, they can, or if someone comes over with a tent or something from on the ferry, they'll be able to camp there. So it's the campground is open right now at Lighthouse Point if anyone is interested in going and staying there. Ferry reservations are being taken through the end of July. Last sailing is marked for July 29th. I do not know. They have not put up the new any new sailings for August as of this date. But if you're interested in going, July 29th is the very last date. Um, and hopefully they'll continue the ferry into August if the border has not opened. But if you haven't taken the ferry and you want to, right now, if with the dates that are left, it's only through the end of July, so you may want to take advantage of that. We had a special guest up here on the point that was Governor Enslee, and he came up here because of our market, had been in uh, had a serious deficit to the point where they were going to have to close. So Governor Enslee and our Congresswoman Susan Delbene came up here. This is a shot from them in the market, and they visited with people here in the Point Roberts. They did have a meeting at the library. This is Enslee going into the library for his meeting with local leaders. And they had a fairly lengthy discussion in there about the issues that we're having, especially with border closures. And it was good that he came up here. I know some people wanted him to have an open meeting for the whole community, but it's really, really difficult to have an open meeting and get anything accomplished. It sounded like the discussions were good, and that he's going to be talking with the federal government again and continuing to push our cause to try and get the border open. Let's see, what else do we have from that? Oh, the other thing is Enslee, of course, got $100,000 in funds to help keep the international market open. That went along with another $25,000 that Seth Paul, our county executive, was able to provide for the international market. And since it's our only grocery store, for those of you who have not been following that, it's important that we keep that open as an essential service here. So he's been working hard trying to get the Canadian government and the American government to help us open up the border. Susan Delbene did come up here with him, and she was originally she wasn't supposed to make an appearance, but there was a town hall afterwards, and she did make a brief appearance at that. I'm going to run a little video from that in a second. But the town hall was really good. It had our local state representatives, Sharon Shoemake and Alicia Rule, were attending, and it covered a wide range of topics. Here's a little clip from Susan Delbene speaking at the town hall.
I just want you to know that everyone I talk to knows there's a place called Point Roberts. They did before, but they really do now. And even the discussion that I had with some folks from the White House a couple weeks ago, which was on a totally different topic, the end of the discussion was about Point Roberts. I very much understand the incredibly challenging situation that you've been put in, that the solutions are not easy, but we're going to keep fighting for them. I have letters to everyone. I've talked to the Canadian ambassador to the U.S., the new acting U.S. ambassador to Canada, to send letters to our Secretary of State, our Secretary of Homeland Security, and others, all who can participate in making a decision about what happens at the border, both on the U.S. side and on the Canadian side.
So, it was nice of her to come up. It was nice of the other representatives to come up here. She has been up here before, and hopefully she'll be coming. Delbene will be coming up here again to have meetings with us. She's been very good about giving her time to our community. One of the things I did want to stress, it's nice to have the politicians come up here, but it's also very important that our local citizens stay active. So if you want to have your voice heard by the politicians, it's important that you join some of the civic groups that are around here. Join the taxpayers, the voters, go to the PRCAC meetings, the Point Roberts Community Advisory Committee meetings. If you're a business, join the Chamber of Commerce. Let your voices be heard by the groups, and let those groups, please, the groups. It's easier to have our voices heard when we speak collectively instead of individually. So go to the groups, participate, let your voice be heard, get them to speak up on your behalf, and it makes it a lot easier when it comes to getting our voices heard by the politicians. I think the politicians have heard the voices from Point Roberts loud and clear. The problem is getting some of them to act, and it's not. I think it's more getting Canada to act at this time than it is the U.S. But hopefully, both countries will open up soon and let the borders be open for us here in Point Roberts, so our businesses can get back to normal. They did come up this time because of the international market, but all of our businesses have been hurting. It's important that we all continue to go out and support them. It's going to be a long time before we get back to normal, where the businesses are making enough money to survive on an ongoing basis. We need the support of having Canadians come over. We need our local people to purchasing things. We need our local citizens to go out and buy our local groceries locally, buy whatever they can locally, go to the restaurants locally, and support our local economy as much as possible. And then if you can grow a business here, that's even better. I know some people have been trying to start businesses here, and it's right now it's very tough. Hopefully it'll get easier in the future for that. One of the things, when the governor was up here, it turns out the governor is a history buff, a very strong history buff, and the local historical society was able to present him a book, the Point Roberts backstory, and he was also visited our local history center. So I did do a short video on that. I'm going to run the short video on that, and then I have a few other things to deal with that we'll talk about before I get out of today's live stream.
Hey, Governor. What's your name?
Mark Swenson.
Mark, you tell me you're the expert.
Yeah, we wrote a book about Point Roberts. I'd like to give that to you.
Seriously?
We're from the Historical Society, and we've got a museum right next door.
Okay,
I'm gonna go and make sure.
This book is
I'm gonna go make sure everybody's set
I know. Who knew there was so much happening in 5 square miles?
Did you sign it for me?
I did.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I owe you one. I'll try to get you one more.
All right, awesome.
Yours is thicker than mine. I just need a filling.
Oh, awesome. I'll be sure to check that out.
Yes, well, I hope we're going to
Sir, we do not have.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I will look forward to this. Yeah, it's really exciting to know this. What inspired you to read the book?
Well, 4 generations of my family have made a living here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's a labor of love.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm reading a book about dirt right now.
Oh.
Okay, go with that.
Switch over. Came up on shore and it's like, where am I? Oh, you made it to the finish line. You're on Yankee soil.
Oh, that's pretty cool. This is a really nice room. I love how you have it laid out here. It's really,
We put this together with just $10,000 and 4 volunteers.
that's really cool.
Yeah, all kinds of swing panels, fishing implements,
So when would have been the first European resident? What year?
The first white resident came in 1875.
1870. I would have guessed earlier than that, actually. That's interesting.
Yeah, there was a settlement here for the Fraser River Gold Rush in 1857. And that was here for 2 years and then fizzled out.
Got
The
it.
first permanent European resident was 1875.
Oh, yeah.
And they were squatters. This was federal land till 1908.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really interesting. That is really interesting. Well, that's cool. Well, listen, you guys, you've done a great work with the Lil here, so congratulations.
Thank you so much for stepping in.
Okay, so you can see. I mean, he really was interested in the and some of the history of Point Roberts. He was actually there a little bit longer than that little clip that we saw, and he had some questions, and he was genuinely interested in it. It was nice having him come and visit, and take an interest in our community. It'll be nice if he can get our borders open and make life a lot easier for us. I'm going to, normally at the end of these live streams, I put up a funny, and I do have a funny for today. And you can see it. Look, light at the end of another tunnel, 2020 and 2021. Hopefully, we started all this pandemic in 2020. We're into 2021 right now, and we're over halfway through the year. Hopefully, by the end of the year, we'll be out of the pandemic, at least the worst of it, and our borders will be open. So, I thought that was an appropriate funny for closing out here. Now, I just wanted to say a few things in closing. I wanted to thank all of you who have watched these videos over the past 16 months and encouraged me to keep doing them. I know that many of the videos from around the point of our people, places, and events have helped those who could not be here with us during COVID. And we've tried to help keep some of our local traditions alive, even with the social distancing restrictions. I'm just setting aside the regularly scheduled live stream for Point Roberts TV. If there are special events that can be live streamed or anything else of community interest that I can record and place on YouTube, then I'll continue to do that. If you have not subscribed to Point Roberts TV YouTube channel, you may want to do that so you can follow us. You can also follow us on our website, pointroberts.tv, or on our Facebook page. I love this community, and we're strong and resilient. We will recover from the current isolation of our closed borders, and we will rebound as a whole community with our Canadian and American identities. So I want to just leave you with stay safe, stay strong, respect one another, love you all, and that's all, folks, for now. Take care. I'll be back.